Welcome to Learn-O-Pedia, the online learning network. We hope you have fun exploring our videos. Our channel is packed with information for all ages. Please subscribe to the Learn-O-Pedia channel, and don't forget to like and leave a comment below. We are going to explore the origins of Christmas. The Christians celebrate Christmas Day as the anniversary of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. Popular customs include exchanging gifts, decorating Christmas trees, sharing meals with family and friends, and, of course, waiting for Santa Claus to arrive has become a worldwide commercial tradition. Centuries before the arrival of the man called Jesus, early Europeans celebrated life and birth in the darkest days of winter. Many peoples rejoiced during the winter solstice, when the worst of the winter was behind them and they could look forward to longer days and extended hours of sunlight. In Scandinavia, the Norse celebrated Yule from December 21st, the winter solstice, through January. In recognition of the return of the sun, fathers and sons would bring home large logs, which they would set on fire. The people would feast until the log burned out, which could take as many as 12 days, where we get the 12 days of Christmas. In Rome, where winters were not as harsh as those in the far north, Saturnalia, a holiday in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture, was celebrated. Let's explore 10 facts on how Christmas got its traditions. Fact 1. Saturnalia. Christmas has its roots in pagan festivals such as Saturnalia, which was celebrated from December 17th to December 23rd, dedicated to Saturn, who was the Roman god of agriculture, time, and freedom. The holiday freed Roman slaves from their duties at school and work. During Saturnalia, masters allowed slaves to eat at their dining table, and some masters prepared banquets for their slaves. Everything goes during Saturnalia. They participated in ritual orgies and human sacrifice. Greek writer and historian Lucian wrote about Saturnalia. People went from house to house while singing naked. He also mentions human-shaped biscuits, also known as today's gingerbread man. Fact 2. The Feast of Fools. The Feast of Fools is a celebration from the medieval times, held on January 1st. It's a survival of the ancient Roman tradition of Saturnalia in so many ways. The Feast of Fools elected the town fool to mock highest-ranking church officials. The boy bishop, as he was formerly known, was made into a priest and gave mock sermons. The boy bishop and his juvenile group were led by the drunken, colorful parade through town. Doesn't this sound familiar? Fact 3. Saint Nicholas. How did the kindly Christian saint, Good Bishop Nicholas, become a red-suited American symbol for merry holiday festivity and commercial activity, who brings Christmas gifts around the world to children everywhere? The real Santa, who the legend was based, lived a long time ago, today in the country of Turkey. Nicholas heard about a man who had lost all his money. He had 3 daughters who were old enough to get married. But in those days young women had to have money in order to get married. This family was so poor they had nothing left to eat. The daughters were going to be sold as slaves because they couldn't live at home any longer. The night before the oldest daughter was to be sold, she washed her stockings and put them in front of the fire to dry. Reaching in, she found a small, heavy bag. It had gold inside, enough to provide food for the family and money in order for all the daughters to get married. And Nicholas continued helping people. This is the birth of the story of the real Santa Claus. Fact 4. The Norse god, Odin. Let's take a look at the Norse myths of Odin and the similarity to Santa Claus. Yule was celebrated during the winter solstice on December 21st. Odin soared through the skies flying on his 8-legged white horse, Sleipnir. Does this not sound familiar? Like Santa's reindeers? If you said yes, you're right. Norse children would leave their boots stuffed with straw by the fireplace. When they awoke in the morning they would find that Odin had left sweets and presents in place of the straw. Fact 5. Krampus. Saint Nicholas has a very dark counterpart. He's a devilish figure, with long horns and a half-man creature with a goatee beard, who is known as Krampus. There are many origin stories behind Krampus, whose name is derived from the German word Krampen, meaning cloth. According to one of them, Krampus is said to be the son of Hel in Norse mythology. Others can trace him back to a Greek god in Greek mythology such as Pan and Satan himself. Fact 6. Mushrooms and Christmas. In his book Mushrooms and Mankind, the late author James Arthur writes about the fly agaric, which is a fungus that lives throughout the northern hemisphere. It is hard to believe, but some say this very well explains the practice of the Christmas tree and the placement of bright red and white presents underneath that look like these red with white fleck mushrooms. Reindeer are common in Siberia and seek out these hallucinogenic fungi. Donald Pfister, a biologist who studies fungi at Harvard University, suggests that Siberian tribesmen who ingested fly agaric may have hallucinated into thinking that reindeer were flying. Fact 7. Mistletoe. Mistletoe has been around for a long time and has been considered a magical plant by ancient cultures. The Celtic Druids are among the first known people known to use mistletoe in ceremonies at least a few thousand years ago, but they didn't kiss under it. They believed mistletoe had sacred powers, including the ability to heal illnesses, protect against nightmares, and even predict the future. The Norse myth of the mistletoe. The mistletoe was sacred to Norse goddess of love, known as Frigga, but Loki, commonly known as the god of mischief, shot Frigga's son with a spear or, in some tellings, an arrow carved from mistletoe. Frigga revived her son under the mistletoe tree and decreed that anyone who stands under the mistletoe tree deserves not only protection from death, but also a kiss. The tradition of kissing under the mistletoe started in ancient Rome, during the festival of Saturnalia and later in marriage ceremonies, because of the plant's association with fertility. They decorated their homes and temples with mistletoe in midwinter to please their gods. Fact 8. Holly. For those who celebrate the spiritual aspects of Christmas, there is significant symbolism in the holly bush. For Christians, the red berries represent the blood of Jesus Christ, as he died upon the cross, and the sharp-edged green leaves are associated with his crown of thorns. However, in pre-Christian pagan cultures, the holly was associated with the god of winter, the Holly King, doing his annual battle with the Oak King. Holly was known as a wood that could drive off evil spirits as well, so it came in very handy during the darker half of the year, when most of the other trees were bare. Fact 9. The poinsettia. The poinsettia is native to Mexico and was cultivated by the Aztecs, who called the plant Quetzalcoatl. Its name signified flower that withers, mortal flower that perishes like all that is pure. The Quetzalcoatl was cultivated as a gift from the gods, and Montezuma adorned his palaces with the plant. Quetzalcoatl, with its blood-red color, served as a reminder of the sacrifice the gods had made to create the universe, and the debt which would be repaid with human sacrifice. Contrary to popular belief, the poinsettia is not poisonous, but holly berries are. Fact 10. The Puritan leaders. Because they viewed Christmas as a decadent Catholic holiday, the Puritans in the United States banned all Christmas celebrations from 1659 to 1681 with a penalty of 5 shillings for each offense. Some Puritan leaders condemned those who favored Christmas as enemies of the Christian religion. Thank you for listening to Learn-O-Pedia. Don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos.